What's going on, guys? So I have a new Yubel deck profile for y'all today. I did get my second Phantom, so this is a little bit different deck profile than the last time. I got second place at locals today, not first, couldn't pull it off. Honestly, it was against Snake Eyes in the finals, and I bricked game 2, game 1. I had one hand trap, and you know, they had it all. So you know, it was just one of them. It happens, but I'll show you this deck. There's some good stuff in there, and it's a lot different than a lot of people's lists. And I will tell you what I would change. So we're going to play the bricks. Of course, you have to play the bricks. If this tells you anything, my game 2 hand was 2 of these in my hand. Yeah, not good. 3 copies of Lotus. 3 copies of Spirit. Anybody playing less than 3, I just don't think it's a good idea. It's really not. 3 Squirmer. 3 mandatory with this deck. Throne. Maxing out on Throne, and this is one of my recommendations. I'll tell you in a minute, but Throne, like when you see this, it makes the deck just like a whole different deck. 3 Pain. I know a lot of people are cutting to 2, and I might, but there's hands where this can get you out of a bind and be a starter. Tonight, it actually just didn't really matter. It was a starter, but it just still didn't get me anywhere that, like, I was in a bad position anyway, and they had the outs to all of it. Lightning Storm plus Droplet. Yeah, heck of a combo. The Beckoning Beast engine, 3 of these, and 2 of these. The opening and the Dark Beckoning Beast 3. I want to bump this up to 3, but I don't have a third one right now. You know, I just haven't really took the time to order it. I think the card's like $2. I mean, it's not even that crazy. Let's go into the next little engine. Put this up. And the next little engine, you already know what it is. It's going to be small Unchained engine. And it's too good not to play. So you just have to play it. Shavara and the Abominable Chamber. So let's get that out of the way, and I'll show you the secret goo, if you will. Kashtira package. We're going to be playing 2 Unicorn, because Unicorn puts a lot of pressure on the board. They don't know what you're playing. They kind of have to address it. 1 Fenrir, 1 Wraithoth, 1 Birth. So talking about Throne making this just feel like a totally different deck. I'm thinking about running set rotation, cutting one of the pains for a set rotation, because when you have access to Throne, it changes things, going first or second. So yeah, and then Birth plus any Fenrir, any cash name, plus you're getting a body. With this one, you're getting a search, you're getting another one. Going second, you search, they respond. They're typically going to get rid of this some kind of way. Then you can just slap this down and just keep playing cash. And then once you've exhausted all your cash stuff, then you can get into your normal summons. But it's just great. I think for a 5-card engine, I don't think there's another 5-card engine that could be better than this. For hand traps, I kind of put this deck together last minute today. Really wasn't thinking. So 3 Ash, 3 Moonlit Chill, 3 Imperm, and then 1 1-for-1. So that's like our non-engine, if you will. This should probably just be Valor, honestly. But I do like Mourner in some situations, because, for example, my opponent made like a Masquerade, and I was able to use this on the Masquerade. So, you know, I just got burnt for a lot less. Valor wouldn't have even worked, you know, because it's my turn. And a top deck Valor is absolutely terrible. I hate Valor. It's not that I hate it. In a deck that can play like 15, 18 hand traps, sure, play Valor. But in this deck, I just think Mourner is a much better option. But do not forget, you can miss timing. It can make some timing issues happen with your Yubels. But yeah, let's get into the extra deck. But it's usually when you're turn player, it's not that big of a deal. Now we're gonna get straight into the extra deck. 2 Phantom. I could see a third, and I could see why somebody would play a third. It would make a lot of sense. One Varudras. When you don't play but one Yubel, it makes getting into this a little more weird because Nightmare Pain, I know a lot of people say that nobody's going to fall for that anymore. People fall for that, especially at like locals and events like that. But even at, I mean, bigger events, you can catch people slacking, and you have a Yubel on board, and then they build their full board, go to battle phase. Yeah, what are they going to do? If they don't have a way to out it in battle phase, they're out of luck. The other Xyz, Typhon, I've already talked about how you can, if you have pain and just a body, like they imperm your normal summon and you don't have anything else, you can pop this with Nightmare Pain, add yourself a spirit, and again, it's one of them situations where it's very low percentage, but if they forget about this and go to battle, you can just win right there on the spot. One Chaos Angel, and that's it for everything that's not a link. This probably never comes up, but it's such a power card, and you can revive it back with Muckraker. There's times where it would come up. It just didn't come up today. For our links, we're going to be playing the standard stuff. Apo, Salamangreat Amirage, the only card you don't actually play in Salamangreat, ironically. I guess you could, but nobody does. Cross Sheep. Let's get all the other ones out of the way. Muckraker, SP, Griffin. Thinking about cutting that. It just doesn't come up that much. And it loses to the same things Apo loses to. Like 3 monster negates typically. Like if they have Droplet or Dark Ruler, they just have it. Like it's the same situation. Except with this, a lot of times you can bring it back off Yama or something like that. Unchained Package, Unchained Anguish, Yama, and Rage. And then of course right here you have access code. Typically you're going for access code with this and one of their monsters. Keep in mind, you know, this can be revived. There's so many things that you can do. But this puts insane pressure on the board. This is a card, typically you're going to have this in your graveyard. So like, if you get Dark Ruler, you typically at least have one interaction. And if you build your board big enough, you'll at least have maybe one more monster negate on board. And it depends on the situation, but a lot of times you'll still have Yama in the grave. Typically the only time you're going to not have Yama in the grave is if you go for Varudras. But yeah, let's go into the side deck and I'll tell you what I would change here. Extra deck, I don't really know until I feel like there's no point in really experimenting with it right now because the Fiendsmith stuff's coming out and that's going to change it a ton. So I really don't want to put too much thought power into that. Far as the side deck, we're going to play 3 Cosmic, just generally good. They play Skill Drain at my locals, and, you know, so do I. But, you know, I want to out-hoot. Lightning Storm and Duster, you don't want to lose some stupid Runic Stun deck. Like, you just don't do that. Just play these, okay? Dark Ruler, I just never seen it. It would have been so good tonight. Just didn't see it because, you know, it's just stupid. It just stays on the bottom of the deck. D-Barrier, we're going to have this. That's what sucks about this format. We have to prepare for so many different decks. But yeah, you got to have D-Barrier. You don't want to get tin-pied. Yeah, you don't want to do that. 3 Skill Drain, again, you don't want to lose to tin-pie going first because of some stupid just blowout. I mean, it's just stupid. Anyway. But much more respectable than Runic Stun. So that's why we're kind of evenly mixed. And just in general, these are good. Just in general, it's easy. It makes for easy siding. You know, this is way better than Mourner. So you would sub the Mourner out. This is better than Imperm or again Mourner. So going first, you can just sub that in, and then Dimensional Barrier. You can typically take something out. One of the Pains. One of the, maybe the 1-for-1, something. Some of the cash stuff, all the cash stuff can come out. So it makes siding a lot easier. And tonight, to be honest with you, I didn't even really see the cash stuff, but like one time. And I think that's like one of the, like I lost that match. I ended up winning I lost that game. I won the match, but But yeah, I don't know what I would change here. Dark Ruler I think is still going to be good. I think this is mandatory right now. You got to have some kind of spell and trap removal. I mean, and you got to have D-barrier. So I mean, I don't know. Side decking is going to be hard in this format. It really is. Especially for Yubel, because we don't have, you know, a situation where we can just side out 15 cards and put it in like a lot of decks can. But anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.